Okay, so we're going to be doing geometric series today. It's a pretty friendly topic. Let's get going. So the sum of an infinite geometric sequence is called a geometric series. So notice the mention infinite, okay? Because a geometric sequence is just a list of numbers, but once I say it's infinite, that means it goes on forever, and then it turns into a geometric series when I add up all of my infinite terms. So before this, we had a sum formula for finite geometric sequence, and this is the formula. You also saw this variation, which is literally just what would happen if you were to distribute this a sub 1. Okay, so let's take a look at an example of a finite geometric sequence. You're told it's geometric, so we need to use this, and I want to add up these terms. Well, there's 6 of them, so I'm going to use s sub 6. And I have a sub 1. I know that a sub 1 is equal to 3. Now the question is, what is r? Well, you could find the common ratio by using any 2 consecutive terms, and you always put the second term over the term before it that you chose, and that gives me 5. Here in the PowerPoint, if I use the first 2 terms, I put the 15 on the top and then the 3 on the bottom, I still get r is 5. And once I plug in, this is s sub 9 because there's 9 terms here, and that means r, which is 5, is going to be raised to the 9th, according to this formula, because n is 9, and a sub 1 is 3. We just plug and chug for all the order of operations, do out 5 to the 9th power, that's this long integer right here, subtract 1 minus 5, that's negative 4, and then we subtract, we clean up inside the parentheses, multiply, divide, and this is a negative 4 down here, it's just kind of cut off from the screen, kind of hard to see, and that long number, 1,464,843, that is our answer for the sum of the first 9 terms. Now, here's another example. It says write this expression as a series. So they want you to list them, all the terms that you could generate using this summation, and then find the sum. So remember that this here is your lower bound, and this is your upper bound. So that means I'm going to plug in all the integers starting at 1 for n all the way up to 5. And the sigma means that you're going to add up all those terms that you generated from this, and then finally add 10 to that. So if I were to do this out, I would get this. And let me just show you. If I had n is equal to 1, then it would be 10 times 1/2 to the 1, which is 5. And that's what I have here. Okay, and if n was 2, that would be 10 times 1/2 raised to the second. Well, that's just 10/4, which becomes 5/2, which is right here. Okay, this guy. Now, if you're wondering where this 10 came from, this 10 came from here. It's the 10 just hanging out on the outside. So they wanted you to make a series, which means a sum, and then find that sum. Okay, so this is when n is 1. This is when n was 2. This was when n was 3. N was 4. N was 5. And then, since this is a finite list, then I need to use the same formula that we used for a geometric sequence partial sum. Okay, our common ratio is 1/2. Remember, you take any 2 consecutive terms. So I could take 10 and 5 and take 5 and divide that by 10, and that's r, which is 1/2. Or I could have taken 5/2 and divided that by 5, which is the same thing as 5/2 times the reciprocal, because you keep change flip, and I still get 1/2. All right, so I have my common ratio. Let me erase this so you could see. And this 1/2 is raised to the 6th. And I'll erase this here so you can see everything. And if I raise the top and the bottom to 6th power, I get 1/64. Subtract that with 1, we get 63/64. Because remember, 1 is equivalent to 64/64. And that's how I was able to subtract 1 with 1/64. And then remember, when I multiply these two, this is 10/1, not 10/10, because 10/10 means that it's 1, and 1 and 10 are certainly not equal. So remember, when you multiply fractions, you multiply straight across, and we end up with 630 over 64. And then I'm dividing 2 fractions, so if we keep change flip, it's kind of hard to see here, but there's a 1/2 here. It's kind of cut off. But if you keep change flip, you end up with this. So I'll just show the keep change flip up to the side here. 630 over 64 Remember, you have to flip the 1/2, and then you could cross cancel, and that's where the 32 comes from in the denominator. And then this was just reduced further. Okay. One more example. Actually, lies. That's it.